would be about a day since you last had your encounter with the animal and left the scouts that you had seen before heading to the location they told you about. It's strange to see another civilization. It's not tense like the spot you just came. It's made out of bone, but that's not surprising. It seems to be a city that has existed for a while. It has the markings of population, has larger centers, has small homes, has buildings. Seems to be a spot that people actually live. You can see as you approach that the people here seem relaxed. They're not well tended to necessarily, but they have what they need. They're social. You can hear the market square, the people murmuring, and you can see some guards posted at the exterior, but they seem more on lookout than in defense. What would Odette be doing or thinking?
Odette, as she journeyed throughout the day and reflected on what she had learned, wondered if what she had said about not ever returning to the tower, if that was truthful or not. Because the intent behind it was to say the right thing. And now, finding out that there are people beyond the tower and finding out what they think of the tower, she wonders if that would be a goal of hers, is whether she would return and tell the people the truth, or if she would abandon that thought and still try to save the tower by keeping it upright. And as she approaches the city and sees more lies from the tower, she just wonders. And she will approach the guards.
As you approach, they very laxedly turn to your direction, see you walking up, see that you are carrying a spear of their own design, unless you have chosen to leave that behind in the last day.
I've got it next to it's crisscross applesauce with my loot.
See that you are carrying a spear of their own design. You're recruited? New? Who are you?
Yes, I'm Odette. Your scouts sent me here.
Ah. Well, congrats. You have found us.
Thank you. What is this city? I haven't heard of it before.
It's just our home. That's the name. We call it our home. There's, names have a lot of power, and we chose to make it home and show that we live here and we all care about it.
I see. Well, yeah. That's lovely. Am I permitted to enter?
Unless you killed someone to take that. We imagine you were gifted it, considering you're not torn to bits and your garb doesn't appear coated in blood. You seem like you're not coming from a scrape, and so unless you intend harm, of course you're welcome home.
Thank you. She will give them a genuine nod of thanks and walk into their home.
Yeah. Upon entering, it's very clearly made of discarded bone and sandstone. It's a very pale town, has lots of whites and sandy colors to it. And the sun above it hasn't been kind, but it has bleached it in a way that makes it look almost opalescent. So the whole city seems to have a breath of freshness to it, as there's nothing here that seems dark or shadowy or decaying. It just seems welcoming. And then you look and realize it's huge, and nothing seems to be saying correct path this way.
Ooh, great. Love that. She gets overwhelmed relatively quickly as she walks in, and there's brightness and no decay when everything she's come across has been decay. And it seems like from them, they've used bone and things that would decay over time and turn into something beautiful. And seeing how big this is and populated, it's so much. It's so new. And it's so not what she grew up thinking. And I think her goal of finding this unnamed deity and saving the tower equals saving humanity becomes a little shaken, because she knows that that's not entirely the case anymore. Still a noble goal, but it's not quite what she had envisioned. And I think she wanders a little aimlessly and looks like she's lost.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's no if you would like to use a move, you're welcome to, but there's nothing specifically for being lost, although if you wanted to try and feel something or someone out, or connect, act impulsively, any of those would be options for you here.
Let's see. I would like to feel something out.
Okay.
And I would like to feel out if there's a place for knowledge of some kind here. Whether that be a library, an archive, or an educational building of some kind. And, well, let's see. When you feel out a place or thing, say what you want clarity about and answer one. Alright. What feels welcoming on the surface is what I will answer.
Okay.
Because Odette doesn't feel anything dark or unnerving yet. On the surface, this place is very aesthetically bright, with the sun beating down on these almost reflective buildings. And it's so new, and her curiosity is so piqued that while she feels lost, she feels welcome. She doesn't feel unwelcome here, as this is quite literally a place called Our Home, and they have welcomed her into it. And so she feels safe here.
Yeah. Okay. Then the what feels dark or unnerving when you peer deeper, I'll answer that kind of as we narrate through the town. Feeling a bit overwhelmed and having your mind come to the concept of information. I need to find something. You start looking closer at the buildings and looking at the symbols. They're not all in the same sigils and markings you would use on the tower, but the depictions of the god symbols remain well enough, and one is showing more often than other, which is the symbol of the god record. It's an open book with a hand imprinted on the top. And you see it pretty commonly throughout the town, but there are a few buildings towards the back that have it large and very present in almost a giving honor way. As you're noticing this trail of records imprint, you're also noticing that eyes aren't lingering on you, but they're definitely looking at you as you're unfamiliar. Nothing to be concerned with there. And then you're realizing how unguarded the city feels. And I think you realize for a city to be this peacefully unguarded, there is a very strong sense of justice to anyone that's an outsider. And it's maintained its perfection and its homely feel by making sure nobody steps out of line.
Oh, lovely. Oh, we love that. Nice. Awesome. Odette feels that sense of unease as that conclusion has come to. And confirms to herself that this is not where she will end her journey. That this will simply be a stop to it and hopefully a moment of respite. And she will follow those symbols to see if she can find archives of some kind.
Yeah.
So, some information.
Yeah, when you, I imagine, go to the ones with the largely displayed towards the back. Going to those, you will find 3 different buildings. One is closed off, almost as though it's a temple, and you would need like a clerical entrance to get in. Then there's one that seems to be more reserved, as in there are less people entering. It doesn't seem like you can't go in there. It just seems like this is a building for people with a purpose to enter on the left. And on the right seems to be more people have gathered there, indicating it's a more open environment. Which one would you like to go into?
I will go to the more open environment, as I do not want to overstay my welcome so soon and push my luck.
So then, heading into the building on the right, it's probably like 3 or 4 stories tall. When you enter, it has a relatively open first little reception area, but there are bookshelves upon bookshelves of artifacts, of records, of scrolls, of things that all recount different lost histories in the ways that the people who lost them would have been recorded. There's also a bunch of people in here and a welcome desk if you needed clarity.
This is like Odette's dream.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have records, not very present in the tower. Like, the fact she has a book is crazy. So walking in and taking this in takes a good amount of time before she can actually spring into action. And she'll just look in awe at the idea of this building. And, well, she'll go over to the welcome desk, if she even knows what that is, but go over to the desk where it seems like someone can help.
You and the tower would definitely like know of like your assigned roles. You would recognize like this is for you all. Would not deem it a welcome desk. It would be like a reception to speed line productivity. They're
Awesome.
the people you talk to so that nobody else is delayed talking to you. Here, though, that doesn't seem to be the nature of this person's job. They seem to be friendly. They seem to be interacting with multiple people at a time, not seemingly concerned about how long one conversation or another goes on for. And like as you stand here frozen, just taking it in, you'll notice a couple people getting up, leaving, coming back to this desk. It doesn't seem like they have to stay there to maximize productivity. It seems like this is something that they just do.
Huh. Interesting. She'll just make her way to the front desk. she's trying to be more relaxed about it, but I think it's a little faster than most.
Okay. Then yeah, as you run up, this like middle-aged woman, she has very light sandy hair, and like her skin is just it's tanned in a way of someone who has lived their life in the sun. Uh, she's middle-aged, kind of squat, has like her weight with her, but she carries it well. Oh, you're gonna be running around here? Is that the plan?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I I just what is this place?
This is a library, dear.
Does she know what that is?
I don't think you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, right. Is there any way I can look at those? She points at the shelves behind.
Some of them for sure. Do you know what ones you want? You're welcome to wander, but if it's any of the artifacts, you cannot touch them.
Oh, okay. Um, I, records on. Do you have anything on the tower?
Um, yeah. We, of course, we as a collective have it, but it's a rather dark thing to be looking into for someone of your stature.
She pauses. She was getting a response ready, and then was like, "Wait a minute, what does that mean?" My stature.
Do you think Odette would noticeably flinch at that?
Maybe, maybe
Oh.
just like.
I mean, no offense. Simply, you don't look like an academic, and outside of the academics, I'm not sure there's much reason to be delving into that place.
I see. I am a curious mind, and wanted to see if there was anything about its creation.
Okay. Well, for that, you will need to go to the building across the courtyard. Um, we can send you a letter of approval. I'll write you up one now. Can I get your name, please?
Yes, my name is Odette.
Okay, Odette. And the purpose of your research is general curiosity?
I'd say so,
Okay.
if that's all right.
Perfectly fine. We are not to judge. Here, and hands you a slip that says, like, limited access, and then has your name and for purpose general curiosity.
She is confounded by the availability of paper and is like, yeah, here's this, like, because that's basically currency for her. Do you have any more of this?
Of admittance slips?
No, of paper. Do you have a journal or something I could use? Sorry, that might be too much. A piece of paper?
I can, yeah, here, and she'll like pull out from under the desk like a piece of paper. If you want a journal, the general store sells them.
Thank you. She'll take
Of
that
course,
blank piece of paper and just kind of hold it.
Okay.
Okay.
This, I've already presumed one thing about you didn't enjoy it, but I'm going to hazard another. You seem out of your element and new.
I am. Yes, I am a newcomer.
Did you not talk to the welcoming committee when you got here?
No.
I see. Did the guards not tell you to go to a specific building and talk to specific people?
They just said, welcome.
So where did you get your spear from then?
Oh, from the scouts.
Who should have told you then to go? Okay. When you're done with your research, and she'll like take out a map of home, and she circles a spot. Go to this building and they will help get you settled in, because you're going to need somewhere to live, you're going to need to eat, all of that.
I see.
And if you're planning on passing by, just let them know it'll be temporary so that they don't go through all the work installing you as a citizen for no reason.
I
But
see.
check them out and they'll answer a lot of the questions that you probably have.
All right. Thank you. A real map, a real current map of a place.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna very carefully put it in her bag with the blank piece of paper because she doesn't have a writing utensil. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you need anything else, my name is Gina. You're welcome to come whenever I'm working. There's a bunch of other librarians on shift, so you don't need to find just me. Anyone can answer your questions.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Gina. She's gonna holding the the slip to her chest because her name's on a piece of paper now.
It is?
She will walk outside, and she's already like, okay, general store. I can make my own Wayfarer's journal. I can finally write down the songs I sing instead of change the lyrics every time I sing them. Like, just her mind is reeling with possibilities of both academic and creative. But still that feeling of unease is in her stomach too. Of, okay, so there's a whole process to be here, and we'll see how that goes.
Would you head immediately to the other library, or do you think you would stop at the welcoming reception first?
I think I'd see. We don't have to fully RP it out unless there's a problem getting it. Seeing if I could get a notebook and a writing utensil at the general store.
Not at all.
All right.
They would be concerned about your lack of funds to pay for it, but simply explaining it's your first day in town and all of the things you just explained about how you got here and the guards weren't helpful, they would do it as a kindness, and you can easily acquire those.
Awesome. That's the greatest thing ever. Getting that first because she might want to take notes at the academic building. So she's gonna grab that and head on over to the academic building. She's gonna postpone the welcoming committee for after in case they don't like her.
Sounds good. Yeah, can I get you then to roll Recognize a God?
No. I don't want to do.
Well, you have to.
Gosh dang it. Hey, you drive a hard bargain. 5.
Okay. You have a strange sense of uneasiness as you approach the second building. You would have felt it in the first, just to a degree of like the same as like, oh, a lot of people are watching me, and like there's a lot of eyes, there's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of new. But as you approach the second building, it feels like, no, there's something specific and measured that has been tracking me the closer I've gotten to these big buildings.
Hate it.
Not a 5, that's really all you can get.
Yeah, that's fair. She starts looking over her shoulder a lot more, as if she's aware that something's watching her. Although I believe she's looking for a person.
Yeah, and go ahead and mark 1 strain to represent the mental toll this is going to take. It doesn't hurt in any physical way, but your mental resources, which, not to be unkind to Odette, are already limited, are stretched even further by having to keep looking over her shoulder and checking in on something she's not sure of.
She's just a girl.
She's just a girl.
She's just a girl. Wonderful. It's marked down. And she'll still kind of clutching that slip of paper to her chest will walk into that building, although she's now, instead of clutching it in full like reverence, there's more clutching it for the almost comfort, like holding on to something as like a grounding technique.
Yes.
And being like, as long as I get to this building and give this thing to them, everything's gonna be okay for the moment.
It's all gonna be so good. Yeah. And as you enter in, it's not a noticeable aesthetic change from the last building in this one. There's still relics, there are still shelves of information, but the feeling of the place is off because of how empty this one is. The last one had several people talking to the desk, moving back and forth, looking around, some people just sitting and reading for fun. This has one worker behind the desk counter, has maybe 6 or 7 people up amongst the shelves discussing things, but it's a lot more quiet. It seems that this is a lot more either respected or honored or perhaps like intentionally limited for people.
That concept of having all of these records and archives and the potential for it to be limited or held away from people instead of being open to all, because it's such a restricted information is such a restricted commodity where she's from, that you just kind of have to take people at their word or be constantly suspicious, which is the better option for that. This is baffling her. I think her flaw, which is naive, is really kind of showing at this point, of being like, but this doesn't make any sense, instead of catching on. As
and
she...
Do you think that's... Oh, go ahead.
No, you.
Okay, I was gonna say, do you think that is manifesting in any way? Is she mumbling under her breath? Is she maybe going to ask the wrong question when she talks to the first person? How do you think her innate naivety is coming into her in this experience?
At this exact point, she's just looking very wide-eyed and in awe of everything, and looking from the piece of paper as if like, why do I even need this? And why is there seemingly an equal amount of information that's held behind a slip of paper versus what's publicly available? And why am I allowed to just go get this, even if this might even just be like an application to go get it? But as she walks over to the front desk, she just hands over the slip of paper, and that naivete, I think, would just manifest with her being very blunt on what she would like at this moment. To which she'll just say, I was sent here to request information and records on the tower.
And the guy will take the slip from you. Odette, reason being general curiosity. Okay. Sure. You don't mind us just asking a couple of questions before admitting you, right?
I guess not. I'm sure that's fine.
Okay. General curiosity benefiting...
Hopefully everyone.
Can you further explain?
Well, sure. I am from the tower, and no one from the tower knows about... It's really bad over there. No one from the tower knows about the existence of anyone else. And I think it would be good to understand what has happened since then.
You see a roller coaster ride
Yeah.
of reactions across this man's face,
Fair.
starting with "I am from the tower."
Yeah.
Was the thing he thought was going to be the wildest statement in there. And then you described the living conditions, and then you described the everything else. And he kind of is taken aback but doesn't recoil. But you see him, like, socially is on a back foot now as you have just said
Excellent.
that. Okay, and your intention is to study, copy, acquire documents?
Read and understand. I don't want to remove anything from here because that seems bad.
We do have a checkout system, but only for you cannot bring it outside of home, and I don't know if that would benefit you. This is an off the record, just personal question. Can you get back?
I don't know. But if I were equipped with some valuable information about the world as we know it, and I could bring it back to them, it might make things a lot better for everyone. Or nothing
But
will
isn't
change.
there just like a giant column at the base that you can't scale?
That, you know what, is a really good point.
How did you get off? We were told people can't leave.
That is a longer story that I don't have time for.
Okay. I guess next official question, as you see him just kind of like scanning a checklist and like very quickly crossing many things off.
Oh no.
Okay. Specific era you would like information on?
The beginning of it?
Okay. That's gonna need further approval, but we can always attempt it. Okay, what if I just give you like a general, like, the history of the world that we know while you wait, and we can see about that approval?
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Okay. We have private study rooms. So we'll put you in one of those so no one can disturb you when you're reading. And it's not posed as an offer.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I was just about to say, can I connect with someone right now?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, can I connect with someone right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I'm pretty sure I know what still defines us. What common ground do we share right now? I think it would be more fun to try to answer what common ground do we share, so I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
The common ground we share is I think we're both baffled at each other's existence right now.
Oh, 100%.
And so I think that can connect us in mutual confounding interactions happening. Because she, in her naivete, was thinking that going the honest route would make her interesting enough to get what she wants. But she doesn't understand any of this in any way. And I think that she's a shock to anyone around that knows she's from the tower.
And as part of the connect, it has you share something intimate to the other person. What is it you want to specifically share to initiate this conversation?
That I'm from the
This
tower.
connection. Yeah, but that's new. That's old to him now. What's
But
the
that's
new
not-
thing you're saying?
I have to tell him something else intimate? That's crazy. I already shared plenty.
If you're trying to connect with him, yeah.
I was trying to connect with him by doing that previously.
Okay. Then the still divide, you see, and I think you've watched him now as you're trying to study him, that he's been very politely trying to answer your questions and give you the things you're hoping for. But you've also been constantly watching his demeanor shift to the thing it settled on before offering, with a very heavy use of offer there, you a study room, mild panic and concern. And the divide seems to be, he doesn't feel that you're being disingenuous in any way, but he does feel like you are above his pay grade.
That's so fair. You know what? How about if there's any way you can contact me once approval is given or not, you can reach out to me. I actually have to go.
Oh, no, that's okay. We have a study room ready.
I understand. I'm supposed to go to the welcoming committee. I was just making a stop here first.
Okay, well,
since I've done
we have your name, and if you go to the welcoming committee, then yes, they will register you, and we'll know where to find you then, as we have your name. Only a first name here. What's your last?
Symphony.
Okay, Odette Symphony. Yeah, we'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, Odette's gonna turn around and go away.
Okay, well, goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming. And immediately you see him start not even see, but you can hear pen to paper immediately scribbling off a note that will be sent describing that encounter to someone else.
Nice.
Yeah.
What an honor. God, I get to be immortalized in the records of history. There is a deep temptation to book it and leave and never come back. But she needs to know. And this might be the only place she'll get that answer. And there's a part of her that is believing if she can find out how the tower was created, she can find out what her next steps are on either her original goal, finding this unnamed deity, or that's it. That's all I've got. That's all she's got right now, of still holding on to that and thinking that potentially that could be a lead. And so, I think she's got to go to that stupid welcoming committee that I'm not a fan of.
Okay. You go to the welcoming committee. You would know a couple of questions pre-prepped from people in town. Do you think you're going to be telling them you're staying for a while, or are you here visiting?
Visiting.
Okay. Are you giving them your name?
Yes, because I've already given my name. That would be a bad idea to give someone my name and then lie.
Hey, just checking.
Yeah.
And then the last one, the questions you'd be cycling through in your head to make sure, is you have been sent here by the scouts, which is very clear.
Yes.
But you've also, so that would buy you entrance into town regardless of your situation. As people have welcomed you home, you are welcomed here. Do you plan to tell the welcoming committee where you come from, having seen what happens with revealing that information already?
Are they going to ask where I came from?
I mean, they might just say, hey, can you tell us a bit about yourself? But
unless they explicitly ask. I think we're gonna lie by a mission.
Okay. Yeah, so that's just thoughts for Odette to
Yeah.
be sitting on as you're panically making your way there. When you get there, it's a refreshing building. It has plants inside. They are made of wood and like have little bits of like painted wood stapled and screwed into them, so they're not real, but they give a nice aesthetic. And it has like a nice like open, the doors are open and like the windows are open to allow the wind to continuously go through, so it has a nice feeling to it. um, you see very small over the top door the symbol of record up top, the two books, the one book opened to 2 pages with a hand sitting on top of it. And as you enter in, they look up. Oh, you're the new one.
Uh,
Gina said you were coming.
oh, yes.
Yeah. Terrible shame that they didn't tell you to come to us first. Terrible shame that Shane did not tell you to come to us second. But hey, someone got you here. That is what matters. So, how much do you know of home?
Very little. Just what the scouts told me, that it was where they're from, and that there is a search for a new home below the surface.
Yes. Yeah, the cradle has to have moved somewhere, and so the new cradle has to be below. Yeah, so yeah, you're filled in on a lot of our policy then. That's great. How do you plan to live here?
No, just passing through.
Okay. And do you plan to stay for like 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 weeks? How long are we thinking pass through?
Let's say for 2 days.
Okay, 2 days, lovely. So the general premise of town is don't commit crimes, don't do a murder, stay on everyone's good side, and everyone will be on your good side. If you do anything wrong, people have been known to be removed from home. And on removed, you get a very similar sense to offering.
Mm-hmm.
So just to make sure that you're staying in line with what you need to, do you have any currency from your hometown?
I do not.
Okay. Then here is like, and they'll just take out a small bag. Like, here's some like money to get you going. If you're ever back in town and you do, we would love a repayment, but it's not expected. It has about like 10 currency. I don't know what you use where you're from, but it has like 10 of our currency in here, so that can get you going on a pretty good amount. Yeah, anything. Oh, and here, and like pulls out another paper map and circles like where you'd be at, and it's like, here is the Wayfair guest accommodations. You can go over there, they'll set you up with a house just to use for like the next 2 days.
Thank you.
Anything else we can do to make you feel more at home?
I think that's it. Do you need anything else? Are we okay? Are we good?
Yeah. Is there a reason we wouldn't be good?
Well, you just said stay on people's good side, so.
Oh, yeah, like, you seem sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go back to doing my job, but you have a great time here.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. I think we've discovered something about Odette. She also doesn't know how to end a conversation.
And you follow the path to the guest accommodations, where they have everything set up for you. And when you open the door, you're greeted by, like, for you, a huge thing. It's not a wooden door leaning up against, like, a hut you could make out of scrap metal. It is a concrete building. It has a bedroom and a living space. It has like a small set of food put out, as though like every day they come through and restock the ones that might be being used. It has like a little bit of bread, a little bit of like some sort of like juice type liquid there. But it also has a man in some robes sitting inside.
Okay, so you just described a lot of things about a living space and then said there's just a guy here, too. So,
This is correct.
okay, He's just some guy?
As you open the door, it looks like just some guy in some robes sitting there.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna assume that he's also staying temporarily, and this is like a roommate situation, because I'm sure that's a big
Okay.
thing at the tower, as space is limited.
Very true.
So she just kind of goes like, "Oh, hi.
Yes, Odette Symphony requesting records on forbidden topics.
Oh, forbidden. I'm sorry. I didn't know they were forbidden.
Well, have a sit. I'm Samuel, the head record keeper.
I see. All right. She's gonna have a sit.
So, forbidden information, as you, I'm sure, are aware, keeps people safe.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sure I'm following.
The kind folk at the libraries let us know that you're from the tower, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And you're hoping to find out a lot in return there.
Well, I would love for people to know that there are others alive. I mean, we thought we were the last of humanity, and that's a pretty bleak existence.
Yes, and you seem noble in that pursuit. Do you wonder if there's a reason the rest of you think that you're the only ones left?
I had heard that at the beginning it was a sort of moral superiority thing, and that's not good. I can say that most of us lived destitute and scraped by, and it's falling apart. So I'm guessing it was potentially our fault that this is the situation we're in.
That's a very sad existence to blame yourself for machinations that outlive you.
I agree. I just kind of thought that's what you wanted to hear, and I am supposed to stay on your good side.
Oh yeah, but this is a private conversation. As long as you don't make a threat on my life, you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Do you recognize this? And pulls out like an image, which to you is the thing saying tower. It's the like symbology of the tower where you come from.
Yes.
And what does that mean to you?
The tower itself?
Can you look again? Can you again make recognize a god move for me?
Guys, she's not even a Godkiller. She's just a girl. Like, this is not... Okay, so you know how we thought about crit fail rules?
Uh-huh.
What about crit success?
Hey, that's an overkill.
Uh-oh.
Which is really good. Which also is so fitting narratively, so that's wild. You look at the symbol for the tower, and your divinity right now is not active, correct? Oh, it is. Okay.
I haven't used it.
True. Your divinity is still being active. You see it kind of like your eyesight seems to be like rearranged by the divinity within you right now, gifted to you by whatever hand stopped you from falling and when you disposed of comfort. And you see the shape of it doesn't change. But for a very brief second, you're able to read past what you know as the tower and start to understand a name behind it. And then you're going to suffer a strain as the god's name you're trying to read is not meant to be known. And you take pain reading it. And you realize, in the moment, that the divinity is actively transpiring against you right now. Everyone has told you how dangerous it is to learn this today. You also know you are from a people who are meant to keep something alive. You realize almost instinctively as your mind starts to burn. The unnamed god is unnamed for a reason, but they're not kind. And that they seem to have created a system that will feed them eternally if enough people could suffer in the belief they would one day be saved.
Oh, that's so bad. Oh.
Do you see anything there?
Nope.
Okay, well. The history of the tower is sad. The people there, unfortunate. The creation and origin that you ask of is a story not meant to be told. If you wish to know it, or if you wish to talk with somebody who maybe is more willing to tell it to you, we can put you in connection with they who hold all knowledge and see if they deem it important for you to know this information. Know, however, that they do know all, and they will judge you for anything you have done in your life. But they will also see the kindness you have done. So, do not mistake their character as aloof or unaware.
She's reeling from the headache she has received. Yes, I would appreciate that.
Yes, and as he moves his hand away to put the scroll back in, from the other sleeve he drops a little sachet of leaves. This is a spiritual type of tea. Brew some before bed, and if deemed important, you will be visited.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, well, best of luck, child. You are going to need it. And if you are deemed well enough, I imagine we'll see you again. And if you are granted access to the archives, stop by any of the 3 buildings and we will accommodate.
All right.
Yes, well, I hope your mind is clear, and if not, perhaps meditate before bed. It can be a strange thing to have someone else inhabit your mind. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And Samuel, leaving the the sachet of tea, stands, like, it takes a little bit of effort to hoist himself up, and then on the way out, you'll do well, I imagine, if you're already concerned with being on everyone's good side. A terrible trait to have, by the way. Don't make that your personality. You'll lose who you are. And he walks out the door.
Okay, rude. Okay, Abby got attacked there for a second. What? She sits there for a moment because that revelation is a lot. and thinks about, or he said, that some stories shouldn't get told. And even with this revelation, she disagrees. Because even a bad story is at the very least a cautionary tale. And her goal remains the same, although the end point of it might be changing. And I don't think she waits for even the headache to calm down or her mind to quiet. I think she will brew that tea and just drink it and see what happens, although it's a non-zero chance that it's poison.
Correct. And I am going to ask for you to make an tempt fate move.
Yeah, let's do that.
As you are explicitly disregarding the instruction to be in a good spot and calm your mind before drinking this tea.
I got a 7.
And I'll say, like, no one... you are being aided by being gifted it.
Yeah.
There are other options. And yeah, you're pretty far from any god that would wish you harm. So even with the +2, that 7 is still a 9, so we're still safe. No overkill. Yeah. You, despite having, I imagine, a very tempest-filled mind right now. I'm sure a lot of thoughts are racing. You consume the tea. Do you just sit and wait, or do you actively go to bed?
Oh gosh, they said to go to bed. She will follow that instruction.
Okay. Then, as you start to drift to sleep, it's easy to fall asleep. Something in this seems to suppress you quite quickly. But you feel how awake your mind is. Kind of that feeling of like when you're half asleep and you can't tell if you're having a dream or if you're awake. But instead of it being your dream and your experience, it's as though somebody else is walking through your mind, marking down everything that's out of place, or marking down any thoughts that are trying to surface, finding things that even Odette has hidden from herself and kicking it up before letting that dust cloud fall back down, and moving through until in the room with you, you feel someone here. But you're also asleep, so this can't be the right room. But you look around, and it seems to be the room you're sleeping in. But are you asleep or are you awake? Is a question that's pondering your mind when the figure finally fully forms, and in front of you would be someone that you would not recognize the time or guard of. The tower has like a lot of ragged clothing, because it's what it has. Home here has a lot of people in more like loose-fitting like patterns and leathers and such. This is a person who sits across from you with a face that's constantly melting and shifting into other people's faces, but wearing a very well-fitting suit, has a pocket watch, and seems to understand that they are safe. They sit with a very relaxed posture. They move in a way that does not indicate they are trying to protect themselves. As they sit at the table you and Samuel sat at, looking at you in bed in your dream, and wait for you to speak.
Am I like stuck where I'm at?
Would you like to try and move?
Yeah, I just want to see. I'm experimenting a little with what the situation is.
Yeah, roll wield of power.
Oh, cool. That's nice. Let's wield this power of sitting.
You have not done before. Are you desperate for it to work?
No.
Okay. And you are not close to the shrine, lair, or domain because you have not taken anything from a god yet.
Yay.
Here.
That is an 8.
Okay. Yeah. On an 8, it feels as though your own mind is holding you in place, but by thinking, no, I need to get here, or wanting to move, you are able to lift your own mental constraints and allow your body movement.
All right. And if I like get up and look at the bed, am I still there?
No.
Nice. Okay. She will get out of the bed and just kind of almost like experiment a little with this feeling, and we'll go and sit across the table, similar to how she had sat across the table and shared a meal with Comfort, but instead this is a meeting. And we'll wait for this individual to speak.
After you sit down and clearly give the sign of waiting for them to initiate, it's wild how often we find ourselves repeating patterns, isn't it?
I guess so.
This is the second time today you've sat across this table from somebody who knew how out of depth you are.
Yep.
And it's the second time since you've fallen that you have sat across from a god. I wonder, are you intending to give me the same fate as Comfort?
Considering I didn't intend to give her that fate, I would say no.
Well, lots of things can be done without intention, can't they?
That wasn't the question. The question was, do I intend to give it to you?
And you didn't intend to give it to Comfort?
Yes. I do not intend to give you that fate.
You are fascinating. You know you shouldn't exist, right?
I don't know what that means.
You are not a godling. You are not born of a divine origin.
All right.
And thus you have killed a god. Something only gods can do.
Well, it seems like a lot of things about the world are not what they used to be.
Maybe to you, however, you're an enigma to me, and I don't like enigmas.
I'm sorry to offend.
No, it's not offense, it's fascination.
Okay.
It's not often someone who knows everything doesn't know something. When did you realize you could kill her?
I didn't know I could do that.
Okay. How did you survive falling?
I don't know.
What do you know?
That I am a girl from a tower who struggled to get by, and then I fell.
What a boring and tragic autobiography.
Thank you.
Yes, well, you and I are going to need to work together to figure out who saved you. Unless it is you intend to dispose of me and my resources.
I do not want to dispose of anyone.
Anyone?
Anyone.
Not even the one trapping your people in an endless cycle of decay, simply so that they can keep their own ego afloat?
Maybe they'll see reason.
You feel your own mind laughing at you. As Record takes control of your thoughts, and almost as soon as you say it, you feel yourself realizing how naive it sounds. Well, maybe they will. I've been proven wrong before, and who's to say I can't be proven wrong again? So, we need to learn who saved you, as I imagine that they gifted you some bit of, the divination you currently own. Or maybe they were dying already and their spirit found you. Can't say. But what I can say is that I have answers and you have a lot of questions, so ask what you want and I'll answer what I feel like answering.
Where do I go next to meet my goal?
I guess that's going to depend on what we decide your goal is, won't it?
My current goal?
Which is?
Finding the unnamed god.
Oh, well. Finding is quite easy. Go back home.
That's it?
If you just want to find them, then yes.
To be able to speak to them, get their attention.
See, that's something that's quite different. In order for them to get your attention, you would need to do something that they don't like.
I don't even know them, so I don't know what that would be. I don't know what they are.
You don't know them? You saw their name when you looked upon the icon, did you not?
I don't understand them.
By design. The tower that you are in feeds them. Every god has a hunger. I imagine you've learned this.
Yes.
Good. Theirs is devotion. The more people on the tower devoted to keeping the tower going, the longer they are fed.
So the tower has to fall.
It doesn't have to fall for people still to believe in it. It also doesn't have to remain standing for people to believe in it.
No one will listen to me if I go back and tell them any of this, because they didn't listen to me. Ever.
So then I guess we go back to our new question of what's your new goal?
I would still like to get that information out there to them. But it seems like the people here would not want that.
The people here in home would not want the information getting to them, or you think the people of the tower would not want to learn? I want to make sure I know exactly what you're implying.
Probably both.
Yes, but one impacts the people that I care about.
Well, it seems like the people here were not wanting that information getting back to the tower. And I don't...
For their own safety, you must imagine.
Why for their own safety? What would happen?
You all are part of a system. We, gods, are dying. This is known. This is not preventable unless someone manages to fix everything. So those of us who are remaining have found ways to keep ourselves fed, to keep our hearts safe, to keep ourselves alive. A direct attack on the tower by anyone is a direct attack on the body of a god themselves. Anyone knowing that it is an illusion, a mirage, a fake structure, is likely to spread that information, which would upset the god who's been pretending they're not there, which would then lead to that god, in anger, seeking out the information and where it came from, which would lead them back here, which would harm the people I've chosen to look after.
So, I have this information now.
You have information, surely, yes.
Would that not already anger the god if I took it back?
As you yourself have said, no one listens to you.
That's fair.
If you show up saying this, well, most people there already think you're dead. One person mourns you. What would it be for you to quietly vanish into the sky before anyone even knew you made it off that tower? Is it the best idea to go back by yourself and face someone that you can't even imagine?
Well, I don't exactly have another option now, do I?
You have plenty of options, you're just not asking the right questions.
Then my next question is, what are the right questions?
It depends on the information you're hoping to find. I'm going to give you a day. Think on that. And tomorrow when we reconvene, I hope you have a better sense of what the world is and what you would like to do, Odette.
Thank you.
Cool. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I don't
you
know how to.
feel like-
I don't know how to end this.
And you feel as like they get up and leave, it's almost like your mind itself is like shutting all of the doors that opened when you walked in until you were just intensely asleep and then wake up the next morning.
Oh my gosh. What the heck?
Up there. See you next time.
Godspeed. We travel with hope in our minds. Lose rain. The sky and the wind are only guide. Wild sea. We are all strangers to this land. And no map, no promise but the light ahead. Rolling into the great unknown. Every step leads away from